tell me it's a walk in the park. Y'all too smart, can't talk from the heart. I got sauce and it's all for the charges. No aux in the car. Ride around bumping that first blueprint on this. I ain't trying to hear what the info is. I been trying to move on the impulsive tip. Do you want dip? I can tell you ain't having that much fun. 3 years in with your ex-boyfriend, y'all tied that knot, but it's back undone. Oh yeah, I'm trying to stack 1 ton. You ain't gotta ask where that come from. I ain't never rock no pack, son. I was on the pack of the moss ain't mess. I skip class, no hallway pass.
Yo, yo, yo. What up, gang? What up, family? This is the eLab Podcast Presents Mitch and Tev. It's Turkey Day edition, and y'all don't see Mitch. Y'all see Tev. Unfortunately, I'm by myself today, but hey, it's not the end of the world. People got stuff going on, family get-togethers, whatnot. Y'all know how the vibes are, so I'm gonna be your host today. This is episode 129. And let's get started. I got a few hot takes for y'all. Stuff going on my mind as far as football. So let's start with college football. We have the Egg Bowl on Friday. If y'all don't know what the Egg Bowl is, that is Mississippi State versus Ole Miss. Now, Mississippi State's not that good. I think they might be 1 win away from bowl eligibility, but with Ole Miss obviously needing this win to solidify their playoff spot, so they don't have to worry about fighting for a last spot or anything. I don't really see much of a problem. The story in this game though is we got good old Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin has had his history, man, y'all, with these different programs, whether it was Tennessee, USC, when he was in the pros. I want to say it was the Raiders. He moves around a lot, but he's been with Ole Miss for a while, and I'm not the biggest Lane Kiffin fan. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, but I've liked him a lot with Ole Miss, and I think he's building something special there. I'm not mad at him for wanting to leave, but I feel like this year is not the move. He's just obviously the hottest option, and we got places like LSU, Florida open available. They're gonna throw the bread at him for sure. I'm like, if it's not 11 million plus, I wouldn't even entertain it. But again, I don't know Lane's accolade, the accolades he's looking for and what his goals are that he has set for himself, right? So obviously can't tell a man what to do. But I hope to see show some loyalty to Ole Miss, especially if they're showing it back. Uh, Obviously, I don't want him making a coach change the last game of the season. If y'all don't know as well, Coach Saban spoke about this on College Game Day. When a coach leaves before the season's over, it can affect the committee. So I just want them to keep the integrity intact for Ole Miss, right? They deserve a chance to have a fair one in the playoffs and see what they can do. Heard us talk about Trinidad on this platform before. He's been having a great year. We would hate to see anything spoil that. So we're gonna see. I mean, he said he was gonna have a decision by Saturday, and that's only a few days away. So that's gonna be very interesting and crazy. But enough of the Egg Bowl. Let's talk about the college playoffs. We were already talking about the college football playoffs before with Ole Miss. We got quite a few teams. Let me go down the list for y'all. I got OU, Bama, BYU, Miami, Utah, Vandy, Texas, Michigan, and Tennessee. I know that's a lot of teams, y'all, but all those teams have games that will be of value this weekend, and some of them will possibly be in their conference championship games. And if they're not, if these teams are able to pull wins out and people lose, two of these teams at least are going to the college football playoffs. So it could get real crazy this weekend, y'all. Me personally, I really like OU. OU, they turned it around. The quarterback gets a lot of flag material, but they just found a way to win, and they got a great defense. I'd love to see Vandy make it, but if I was gonna be a betting man and go with what we have, I'm gonna say Bama. I'm gonna say Bama to be safe. But let me let y'all know something. Bama is going to be in the Iron Bowl this weekend, which they'll be playing Auburn. They're playing at Auburn. I don't think that should be much of an issue, but anything can happen in that rivalry game. If y'all remember some year, like I think this was in the teens, the 2010s. There was a year where they were like a shoe in Bama was, and I want to say it might have been 13 for real. When they let I think it was Lockett maybe kick returner ran it back on him. Shit was ugly, y'all. It was very ugly. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Obviously, it's college football. I've been kind of hit and miss with it this year, just because, man, it's different. You got all these different programs. Chemistry's not the same as it used to be with all these transfers. Anything can happen, but I like OU and Bama to lock in on playoffs this weekend. Teams I want to see make a splash is Vandy, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Y'all know I've been behind Arch. I want to see Texas pull the upset off on Texas A&M. Now I know my boy Teddy. He's not gonna like that at all. He ain't gonna want to hear that at all. He's definitely gonna give me a earful off that one right there. Pause. I gotta be careful with them because they're crazy. But anyways, man, I just think if Texas pulls that upset off, the committee really has to look and evaluate Texas and decide, with everything they've been through, being in the SEC, playing the defending champs at the beginning of the year who are still undefeated, and pulling off the big upset if they beat Texas A&M, shouldn't they deserve that last spot? I think so, but I'm not there on the committee, so I only get so much say so. So moving on from the college football playoffs, I don't know if y'all been keeping up. We got new coaches. Jim Mora Jr. He just moved from UConn. He's going to Colorado State. I don't know if he's going to do much there. I think it's kind of interesting. I'm wondering if he's seeing maybe the vibe that Coach Prime's putting on in Colorado, and he wants to match that, or maybe it was the money. I don't know if there's a connection there, but that one did intrigue me. The biggest one, obviously, y'all, we have Penn State's ex-coach. He just went to Virginia Tech, and he's already sniping some of their old prospects. He just signed a four-star running back. And I think a lot of these new coaches you're going to see around, most of these programs are going after them because of their pipeline and what they've built as far as their previous programs and a lot of the connections they have. So I think it's going to be fun this off season if you're really into college football to see how these pieces move, where people end up at, and what changes. I mean, Ole Miss, that would be crazy if Lane leaves because ain't no telling what kind of recruiting class they got coming in with their current team, with the vibes he's built. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a lot of transfers and a lot of movement, y'all. So that's something to keep up with. Far as college, I think we're pretty good on that. I don't really think there's anything else going on we need to talk about. So let's go ahead and move on to the biggest program, y'all, NFL. Shout out to my Texans. Y'all know the vibes over here. So this week, going into this weekend, we got a top five, brand new top five. We got the Rams at number one. This is provided by ESPN too. Patriots at number two. Broncos at number three. Philly at number four. And Seattle at number five. So we got about 4 weeks left. I think we're going to see some changes here. I think Rams and Patriots, based off of scheduling, they'll probably stay in that one and two spot. Which order, I can't tell y'all for sure, but I don't see too much movement from the top two spots. But Broncos, Philly, Seattle, they definitely have some motion, as far as they schedule. Um, All three of them have had some tough games, and there's a lot of uncertainties between all three. Personally, I think Philly's the one you definitely gotta solidify and hedge all. I would not hedge all your bets, but lock in. You can definitely push all the chips in on Philly. I don't think anything's gonna change as far as them solidifying the NFC East. And right now they're not the number one team, but and with the Rams locking that in, I'm pretty sure in the NFC number two spot will be Phillies for a lot. Seattle, on the other hand, they're in a very tough division. They have the 49ers to play. They have the Rams in their division as well. So I don't see them moving up to get that number one spot in their division. And with the 49ers, they're so up and down. Brock Purdy, he didn't play the best game, but he's still their best option as far as they can determine. I personally think Mac Jones should get a shot, especially if Purdy comes out again not really sharp. I think you really want to exploit what Mac Jones has been doing all year, and he's just been balling, man. He's definitely earned his right and his position in the NFL. I definitely question the validity of Mac Jones. I have no questions anymore. Shout out to Mac Jones. He's doing his thing. He deserves the love. He deserves the praise. Broncos. I'm almost certain now they got the AFC West on lock. I thought KC was gonna really make something shake and just coast back up to that spot, but this is a brand new year, y'all. KC has usually been hands down, the boogeyman, especially in the AFC West and the AFC in general. But this year they're gonna be fighting. They're gonna be fighting for that seventh spot, and I don't know if they're gonna get it, y'all. I thought they were, but now, especially with my Texans on the rise, y'all, with our defense, and we gotta play each other. I don't know, man, but I'm gonna tell you one thing: Texans nor Kansas City can afford any L's. So with their records right now, five, anything more than two more losses the rest of the season, you're done. But I would say you really don't want more than one. So yeah, y'all. I don't know what we're gonna do with the top five, but stay tuned for sure because it's gonna be interesting. There's a lot of games right now that are already TBD as far as what day and time they're gonna be because they're making everything flexible right now because certain games are gonna be extremely valuable in those last 2 weeks. So we might not see all that, resting your starters and tanking vibes the last 2 weekends of the NFL because I think people are gonna be fighting just to get those spots. So uh, let's see. Let's talk about Turkey Day, y'all. That's why we here, right? So tomorrow we're gonna be stuffing our faces, drinking, pulling up liquor. I think tomorrow's gonna be a fun day as far as NFL is concerned, at least in the earlier half of the day. We'll talk about it later in a second, but we're gonna start off with Green Bay and Detroit. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm taking Green Bay to win this game. Reason I'm taking Green Bay, I'm not a big fan of the offense. Golly, I just think they don't flow well enough with the receivers they have, and I've seen them get open a lot. But of course, it's a young core. Jordan Love is still getting in his own, but they do have Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, he's one of the elite running backs, especially when it comes to the red zone. He really has a nose to get the touchdown. So I love them in this game. And shout out Detroit. Y'all know I got love for Jared Goff. I got love for Jameer Gibbs, Amon Ross, St. Brown too, and Jameson Williams is a beast. But I just think the way they've been kind of just fighting to stay in the games, especially last week, they did pull off the overtime dub. I think with this defense, the way Micah's been playing lately too, Micah's been getting them some game saving sacks. I just think they're gonna lock him up. This is gonna be one of those old man, boring football games that a lot of the new school hate. You probably won't see a lot of passing yards or a lot of touchdowns. Score's probably gonna be like 17-13, something like that. But I'm gonna take Green. I'm gonna take Green Bay. Lock them in. You know, look at the odds, but trust me on that one. Green Bay is definitely gonna be the one to go. My game of the Turkey Day is gonna be Kansas City at Dallas. Kansas City at Dallas, y'all. It's gonna be a vibe, man. It's at Dallas. So y'all already know every year Dallas plays Thursday night game Thursday, not Thursday night, but the Turkey Day, which is on a Thursday, obviously. Detroit as well, but Dallas is the one that everybody usually waits for because they're America's team, even though they don't play like it anymore. But man, I think that one's gonna be interesting. The addition of Quentin Williams, I don't know if y'all watched last week's game, but it shows up every play on defense. Like he is a wrecking ball out there, and he's tearing O lines up. Part of my left, but it's really crazy, man. And with the running game that Kansas City has, it's not the best. I love my guy Kareem Hunt. Isaiah Pacheco's coming back. Last time he came back this season, it wasn't that good. So I'm not feeling very confident when he comes back this time. Teddy, our residential Kansas City fan, he says it a lot. He's a running back who runs like a crash out, like he got a concussion. So I don't think you want to run that style when you got Quentin Williams blowing shit up and Kenny Clark in the middle as well. Logan Wilson, he's recently been added, and I want to say they just got the I can't think of his name, but they got a young linebacker that they've been real big on all year. He just came back as well, so they're going to be definitely focusing on applying pressure on the pass, closing the gaps for the run. They're going to try to make them, air it out, and obviously Dallas's secondary hasn't been the best. So, is that the wisest decision? Maybe not, but they're very confident in their offense. They have the number one offense currently based on all the statistics. And Dak's having a great year. He's one of the contenders for MVP right now. So I think they can have a shootout with anybody. And with it being a Turkey Day game, y'all, you know they're gonna want to put on the show. So it's gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna take Dallas to win just because it's at home. Kansas City hasn't been great on the road at all. They're 1-4. So I don't really see them changing to 2-4 tomorrow. But you never know. If it's Pat versus Dak, I'm gonna take Pat. I just like Pat's decision making a lot more than I like Dak's. But hey, this is the game that Dallas can really show the audience, everybody in the league who's watching that hey, we are for real. We're gonna make a push for the playoff. They have a low chance right now, y'all. They're like 10th in the rankings as far as NFC, and you have to be seventh to get that last spot. So the odds are stacked against them. But with this new defense, man, I think they got a chance. So I'm gonna take Dallas. It's gonna be like a 1 point game. They're gonna win like 31-30, y'all. It's gonna be a crazy finish. Something wild. I don't know if Pickens is gonna play yet. I don't know if that's for certain, but look out for a Pickens or a CeeDee Lamb touchdown. Cause CeeDee gotta step up, y'all. Especially after last week with all those drops and the way Pickens is balling. People gonna start counting his pockets, and you hate that. So moving on to the final game of the night, probably the worst game on the slate, y'all. Cincinnati at Baltimore. Right now, Baltimore has been doing a thing. They literally went from the depths of hell back to the surface. They're 6-5. They're leading. Excuse me, y'all. They're leading their division. Um, they're on cloud nine, and they know they've already been at the bottom, so they know what that feels like. So they're hungry. They're gonna keep pushing forward and try to lock in this playoff spot. Cincinnati has nothing to play for, y'all. Nothing to play for. Um, they're 3-8. For whatever reason, they're gonna let Joe Burrow play, y'all. We got to do a better job of protecting our players, especially from themselves. I'm gonna assume that Joe Burrow made the decision to play, but it's like, bro, this season's over. We want you to be your best. We want you to work on your health, get strengthened, wait for next season because we don't have a better O line. Nothing has changed with the O line. We're missing T. Higgins, your number two target. So you're gonna have to look for someone else to get the ball to when they key in on Chase. Now, of course, Jamar Chase is a beast. He's back, y'all, from being nasty last week, spitting on people. He's to me the best receiver in the league. I don't think there's really any DB on Baltimore that can mess with him at all. But I will say with the pressure that they're gonna put on the pass, especially with a weak O line, and they're gonna keep that time of possession with their running game. I don't know if Chase is gonna get too many opportunities to do much in this game. So I'm gonna take Baltimore. I say two possessions, 10 points. So let's say Baltimore. We're gonna go 30-20 Baltimore. And for real, I might even say 20-10 Baltimore because I don't know if we're gonna get a lot of touchdowns with them controlling the time of possession. So yeah, it's just me, y'all. We 22 minutes in. I'm not gonna be talking all day. I know y'all used to that. Everybody calls me the one who never shuts up. But I got stuff to do. So I'm gonna leave y'all with some of my final thoughts. Real quick with the NFL. Miles Garrett's breaking the record, y'all. Y'all just need to go ahead and get ready. Um, be watching every Browns game, which most of y'all will be because of Shador. Because it's gonna be real soon that he breaks that record. I say give it about 3 games, no more than 3 games. I don't think he needs the 4 games to break the record. Give him 3 games, that record will be broken. He's also gonna be the defensive player of the year, which we were talking to Mac Main last week, Big Austin, and he said it doesn't matter, what Miles Garrett does, he's gonna get forgotten. I'm pretty sure Miles Garrett was the only defender everybody was talking about in the league last week. I don't think he's a trendy defender. I mean, he's a freak of nature. So that take is wild to me, but hey, I have some wild takes. Everybody does. So you're entitled to your opinion. But definitely go ahead if you haven't already done it and the odds are still low, go ahead and lock in Miles Garrett as Defensive Player of the Year. Whatever bookie or um, you know app you use as far as betting is concerned, get Miles Garrett as a lock. Now here's one that's a long shot, and I like it because of what he's done all year. Jonathan Taylor still has a chance to win the MVP. I know we've been debating all year and talking about his chances of MVP, and I've never been all the way locked in. I've kind of been up and down with it. I was getting towards that end, but Kansas City had him on lock last week. If he goes on a trend and averages anywhere between like 150 and 200 per game rushing the next the rest of the season for real, and he's averaging 2 touchdowns a game, he's going to get the MVP. But everything I just said, that's a tall task. That's not guaranteed. The way that Stafford, Dak, and Drake May have been playing, especially with their positions, Stafford and Drake May are on the two best teams as far as their conferences. Sorry, AFC, NFC, and divisions are concerned. They have the best two records. So anything they do, as long as they don't crash and burn, they're already a lock for, a favorite as far as the MVP is concerned. Dak, if he can get this team to the playoffs and continue to go on his tear with his numbers, you probably want to go ahead and lock him in because he would have the best chance out of all of them, even if they both finish with, you know, one or two losses. Talking about Stafford and Drake May, Dak taking this team to the playoffs with where their record is right now, which is 5-5-1. He would definitely get the MVP if the numbers are there. But JT, man, Jonathan Taylor with the Colts, y'all, he's got the greatest chance of pulling off one of the biggest upsets in the MVP just because he's that good. He's that good. He's that explosive. He makes the plays. He's a touchdown machine. I don't think he's gonna break LT's record now, but if he does, he's a lock. Y'all need to just go ahead and lock that in. And yeah, that's all I got on the MVP, y'all. I think we're gonna get about. Let me see what else I got here. I think I got some closing thoughts for y'all. For real, for real. I'm gonna check the comments. I ain't messing with the kid today, but it's all good. I still love y'all. Um, yeah. So closing out, let me just say, shout out to the Lakers. Y'all know LA all day. They're number 3 in the league right now, number 2 in the West. Just pulled off a great victory against our rivals, weak ass Clippers. I've seen they got some different names they're recommending. Somebody said the Compton Clippers. That's actually kind of hard. I think if they were smart, they would switch to that because Los Angeles, it just doesn't fit right for the Clippers. I don't know why they're there. They should go to San Diego. So, anyways, LA all day. Shout out to the Don. Shout out to the King. AR-15. We balling. Texans, y'all know what we doing right now. Best defense in the league. Best pass rushing in the league. 2 of the top 5 sack leaders are on our team. They got over 20 sacks combined. I think we have a great chance to really show the league that this ain't no joke when we get this victory against the Colts this week. I'm gonna go ahead and pack them up. And I know I just gave all that praise to JT, but this ain't gonna be the week he gonna get it. So he gonna have to make it up like a game and a half on the next game because yeah, we not letting them go crazy against us. So next thing I got is UK basketball. Y'all keep an eye out next week, next Thursday, which I'm gonna say that's December 4th. We're gonna be having one of the biggest stars from the state and the program history. Darius Miller will be on with my boy E. He'll be running the interview, so y'all keep an eye out for that. I'll be posting that, of course. UK basketball also plays tonight. Tennessee Tech. It's gonna be an easy dub. Shouldn't be no problems there. UK football. Y'all know I've been on the ship shaky. Not really feeling them this year because I'm not a big fan of Stoops at all. But he's not going nowhere. I love my team, so it is what it is. We play U of L, our rivals, which I love to give my U of L fans that are friends and family the blues. So they're pretty much defeated at this point. They didn't achieve the goals they wanted. So we're gonna get this dub, lock it in, go ahead and get a bowl eligibility, probably be in the Music City Bowl or one of them week bowls. But hey, success is success. And this was a team that I didn't think was gonna be bowl eligible anyway. So I'll take it, especially if it's against U of L. I don't like them at all. So I'm feeling good. Also, shout out to the Lady Cats. Lady Cats right now, they undefeated. I want to say they're ranked 16 and they're playing tonight. And it is 41. Actually, it's 44 to 30 in the third quarter. They're in Puerto Rico in the shootout. That's not good. But I got faith in my team because that's my team. And the Lady Cats, we've been undefeated all year. We've been balling. We're going against an undefeated team. So of course, the task ahead of us is gonna be tough. But we'll get this dub in the fourth quarter. I'm gonna go ahead and put something in for that right now. But yeah, man. Again, it's T Pain at Tev Takes. That's where you're gonna find me on most platforms. I do appreciate all the ones who tuned in and watched. Obviously, this was a spur at the moment. It's on a Wednesday, and everybody's probably cooking or getting food or getting ready to prepare. I hope you already bought your food because there ain't much left in the store if you ain't bought it already. Y'all know that. But yeah, man. I just want to say, since it's Turkey Day, thankful. I'm thankful for my podcast members in this platform, man. Being on a podcast, something I've been thinking about doing for years. Everybody tells me to do it all the time. So when the opportunity came, my boy E, shout out to him, we go back to UK. I had to take that opportunity. So I want to tell all y'all, as much as I be giving y'all flack and talking my shit, because that's what I do. I'm thankful for y'all, man. We booming right now. If y'all ain't with the wave, man, y'all better hitch on to the wagon. Cause once we get to a certain level, Fat Joe told y'all once, yesterday's price, it's not today's price. And we're gonna be looking ahead, not looking back. So again, y'all can follow us on all platforms: Instagram, Spotify, X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, TikTok. Make sure y'all tune in to the lives. Don't be looking for probably any more shows this week. But stay tuned to the notifications. You never know. Stuff can switch up. But definitely be ready next week after the holidays because we're gonna be booming. Again, Darius Miller will be on eLab next week, 6 p.m. Thursday, December 4th. It's your boy Tev Takes, Tev Payne, T Pain. Signing out, y'all. Appreciate it.